One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. All right, everybody. This is the Aquarian Age Esotericist, welcoming you to another episode of the Wellness for New Age podcast. We're here the first week in June, getting ready to, it looks like, have a little bit of reprieve from the tension that we've been feeling with the movements, the specific transits that have been happening. But with Jupiter and Venus meeting up, looks like we're about to have a little bit of downtime, a little release of the tension that I think most of us are carrying pretty much day to day these days. And while we have a little bit of the air let out, a little steam taken off, I wanted to really begin to hound on this topic that we are facing a time unlike any other time in human history. And right now, a great many of us are in a literal fight for our lives. And unfortunately, I think there are far too many Americans who do not understand this and see what's coming to us. And I don't think that we have very much time before things get drastically worse than where they are now. And they're pretty bad now. Well, one of the clues as to where we're heading is this recent article that I want to talk about from Glass Empires that says ICE is quietly rolling out a $55 billion crematorium network. Now, if you do the fact checking on this, you will see that there is no specific mention of a quote unquote crematorium network within the legislation and funding of that $55 billion expansion for ICE. There is the discussion in a build out of crematoriums that in the funding says loosely that it'll be used to dispose of medical waste. But we have to stop here and really be honest and straight about what we're seeing and what we're witnessing. We are witnessing the rapid rollout and expansion of a network of detention centers, otherwise known as concentration camps, across the US. And considering that as of today, June 3rd, 2026, I think right now the statistic is that every 6 days, a person dies in ISIS custody. So as the amount of people that are meeting their end when they're under the custody of ICE, as that increases, and as the number of detention centers themselves increase, obviously with the intention of people filling those detention centers increasing as well, it does beg the question of how is the country going to handle sickness and illness and disposing of bodies in these detention centers? And while a straight out fact check of the title of the article about the crematorium that ICE is building may not be quite factually correct in how it is phrased, it's clear to see the intent behind what's happening. And it should scare everyone. I'm personally confused on how everyone hasn't had at least one moment of being scared shitless or somewhat frightened about everything that's coming. But I mean, I'm never, I am never, it never ceases to amaze me just how many people really seem to not think that anything bad is coming out. And how many people that understand what's coming, they think that's a good thing. But now, I do believe that we are facing unprecedented times, not only as Americans, but just as humans in general. What humanity is about to deal with, what humanity is facing, is shocking. But I don't think that we really have that much time to be shocked about it. I think that we have very little amount of time left to take real action on what's happening, and we need to take real action on what's happening. Every person needs to sit down and do a real assessment of where they are in their lives with resources, assets, and decide what steps am I going to take to protect my resources and assets, to gain more resources and assets, and what kind of resources and assets do I need to survive what's coming. President Trump repeatedly stated that he and his administration planned to detain 20 million quote unquote illegal immigrants and deport them. Although we only have about 11 million illegal immigrants in the US. But 20 million is a number that he and his administration have both repeatedly stated over and over again, with the open goal of incarcerating 3,000 people a day. Well, if you do the math on that, obviously there's a big gap as far as how many people are actually here in the US illegally and how many people they plan to imprison, basically, to detain. So if there's only 11 million or so illegal immigrants here, who else is going in all those empty spots that'll be left over from the 20 billion? I mean, I think it's fairly obvious that it's going to be Americans. Whether it will be Americans that are considered political dissidents or Americans who are labeled as domestic terrorists or Americans who do not support the current administration or whatever the case. It's clearly going to be Americans. And I think we can see that in the opening of the detention center in Utah specifically for the homeless. Now, I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. We're being constantly told every single day that AI is taking our jobs, and we're witnessing this. We witnessed a massive shedding of jobs in the public sector throughout 2025, and a big wave beginning in the private sector at the beginning of 2026 as well. So our jobs are disappearing. Our cost of living has shot up, where housing has become unattainable for millions of people, for millions of Americans. Most of them are working Americans and still cannot afford housing. And so what happens? The administration criminalizes homelessness. So we have a massive push of detention centers opening all across the US that are privately ran for profit. All of this is happening after we've declared homelessness as being illegal, a crime, as we shed millions of jobs from our public and private sector. And we are watching AI just come in and put millions of people out of work, or what will be millions of people eventually. With all of that in mind, are you feeling any fear or concern at all about these detention centers across the country? These concentration camps? I think that we have a very short window to prepare for the battle of our lives. And I think everyone needs to be doing a personal assessment right now of where they are and what kind of life they want to have on the other side of all of this. So I truly believe you've got to be able to see the life that you want on the other side of this to actually get through this. And I truly believe that now is the time to be taking real action in preparation for what's coming. If you don't think that you have the resources, the network, the community of people to survive what is coming to this country, when you look at the shedding of jobs, the expansion of detention centers all across the country, the exorbitant cost of living that gets exponentially worse each month, how housing is becoming unattainable, how food is becoming unaffordable, the amount of Americans that are homeless, who are living in their cars or living in storage units, living in garages, wherever they can find some shelter. That's where they are. And these are working people. And these are families, people with children doing this. When you look at everything that is happening, It is only to your detriment if you cannot be honest with yourself about what's coming. Time is quickly running out to take action. So I'm here to encourage you to do what you need to do, to begin to do what you need to do, to prepare for the crisis period that we're about to enter, to prepare to survive. Because I think that we're getting into a time where living and surviving is only going to continue with the utmost intention. I would like to encourage everyone to go to check out our latest video here on the wellness site. Um, it is specifically about the detention centers, the concentration camps all across the country. I thought it was very important to really pull this out and show people the details of what's coming. So I encourage you all to go watch the video. It's the latest video on the Wellness for a New Age YouTube channel. It's called The Shocking Similarity Between Nazi Germany and America Today. Let's see, can I share my screen enough so that you can see it? Unfortunately, today I am coming to you from my phone. So hopefully you're gonna get all of this. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Here's the channel, Wellness for a New Age. I'd like to encourage everyone to go and watch the shocking similarity between Nazi Germany and USA Today. Right at the video list. I'd also like to encourage everyone to please visit me at everyone to visit me at buymeacoffee.com/wellness for new age, where you can pick up our free copy of uh, the 9 easiest countries for Americans to move to in 60 days or less. It's a free copy of the easiest countries to get into for Americans. I had a lot of people reach out to me in the last webinar that I had that asked me specifically for the easiest countries. So I put together this little guide, complimentary guide. Also, we have our Leave America Now guide, a step-by-step guide to relocating abroad. That is now $27. That guide has been reduced, brought down to $27. And that is in turnkey step-by-step guide in relocating yourself, your family, your children, your pets, your money, everything. A big how-to guide for those people who understand that they don't have what it takes to survive what's coming in America, or that they simply don't even want to be here to experience what's coming to America. So please visit buymeacoffee.com/wellness for New Age for those guides. I am also offering chart readings. I've been focusing on doing healing and trauma readings, finding the trauma in your chart and how to heal from it. In works of helping people to start over and basically reset. I have 3 clients that I'm working with now that consult with me specifically on recovering, resetting, and basically reappearing in a new life, you could say, after the old life that they had fell away for whatever reason. One person has struggled with finding employment after 50. One person has struggled with the changes that menopause has brought to her life. And my other client, just everything that they thought was collapsed and they had to start over. So that's what I've been doing a lot lately, is focusing on helping people to reset for not only recovering, for disruptive events, life experiences that have changed things for them, but also in preparation for what's coming. As we go through this global reset, and as Americans, we're about to experience a reset unlike anything we have in our lifetime. I stand firmly by the belief that the best way to survive the collective reset we are experiencing is to turn inward, look at where you are in your life, the good and the bad, and plan your own personal reset that will match the collective reset happening. I think we all really, really need to get in our heads, accept this is true, and plan accordingly, that life as we know it, or as we've known it, is over. So again, please visit the Wellness for New Age channel on YouTube, so you can check out that video, our latest documentary on the detention centers across America. And check in with Buy Me a Coffee. If you like the content, please buy me a cup of coffee. If you're interested in the Leave America Now guide, you can purchase that there. You can also purchase a consultation along with the guide, because I do one-on-one personal consults for people who are relocating abroad as well. Anyways, anywho, this is the Aquarian Age Esotericist, and I will talk to you again very soon.